people, today we're going to be checking out things you should never do in other countries. Now, I've gone international a few times, and I don't feel like I fit into the stigma of Americans are loud, they're annoying, you know, they're disrespectful whenever they travel. I try to be very conscientious of like the environment and cultures of the places that I go to. But with this video, hopefully I can learn a little bit more and see what other things I might not have thought of that I've been doing that I can change in the future, especially now that I'm fully vaccinated. And I plan to travel this summer. So let's get right into things you should never do in other countries. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. This is my channel dedicated completely and only to cultures. So if you're into that kind of thing, subscribe, like the video, go check out my other content. DM me video requests over on Instagram and check out my other channels too. I have a vlog channel and another reaction channel. Okay, here we go into things you should never do in other countries. Let's see, let's see.
Traveling opens up your worldview, but different cultures around the world are so varied that just doing your thing in foreign countries may get you into a world of difficulty. Let's take a look at 20 surprising things you should never do in other countries.
What is going on?
Number 20, don't step on money in Thailand. In Thailand, it's illegal to step on money. It's because of one man on every note, the king. The law states anything considered demeaning to the royal family can be an offense. That means if you drop your baht at the market, you won't be able to stand on it to stop it from blowing away. The Thai government also has a lot of power. During a recent military coup, the three-finger Hunger Games salute became popular with protesters. In the end, they made the gesture illegal, and 5 people were even arrested for doing it.
That's weird. I mean, I guess it's a different thing because, again, it's a whole king. It's completely different than just having a president or democracy. So I'm not going to judge because, you know, it's a different culture, but you can't step on money in Thailand, okay.
There are lots more customs you should follow should you visit Thailand. For one, it's never good to shout or make a scene in Southeast Asia.
Well,
You should also avoid putting up your feet.
Oh!
Because, according to Buddhist beliefs, feet are the dirtiest parts of the body. And it's...
I would think it's your privates. You know, in the car or when I'm just relaxing or even sometimes at like cafes, it's normal for people to just relax, stretch out their feet, put your feet up, but people see that as like offensive, apparently. Okay.
Very offensive to point them at someone. Also, think of the smell.
Sometimes I use my big toe to like
Number
point.
19, don't use your left hand in India.
Yeah. I'm Nigerian and my mom doesn't let me hand her anything with my left hand. My brother actually started writing with his left hand when he was a kid and she made him switch to right-handed. So now his handwriting is really bad. But yeah, the left hand, not only just in Indian culture, but in many cultures is like the bad hand. Like it's disrespectful, it's against God, blah, blah, blah. You gotta use the right hand for everything.
It's
kind of weird.
What hand you use for what. But in India, you need to.
Yeah,
never pass
you can't
money,
hand anything.
Food, or shake with your left hand. Your left hand is used for all things bathroom related. So it's very easy to see where this comes from.
What?
In India, you should also get ready for another custom, queue jumping. As queues are a Western construct, it's jump or be jumped in the wildly long lines of India. Number 18, don't order white coffee after breakfast in Italy.
What? Why?
Italians are known for coffee, and they have many rules about it. It's poor form to order a white coffee, such as a cappuccino, after breakfast. This comes not from the sweetness of the drink, but from the milk. According to Italians, milk should never be drunk after a meal, as it is said to ruin your digestion.
I feel like that's not like an actual rule, though, that people are gonna like reprimand you for. It's just like a cultural thing. Like they don't think you should do it, but if I want to have a glass of milk or drink coffee after I eat some pasta, I'm going to. I feel like that one's not like a legit thing.
So you should only have it at breakfast. If you're a beachgoer, you should also beware. In Heraclea, near Venice, it's illegal to build sandcastles.
What?
According to the local government, they obstruct the passage of the beach and sand dunes for other people. Talk about fun police.
Exactly. So you can't build a sandcastle because people who are trying to stroll up and down don't want to walk around, or it's in their way. That's weird. Italy. It is Italy, though.
And here's a weird one. In Torino, readjusting your crotch in public is an offense.
It's kind of just...
touching that part of your body is traditionally associated with good luck.
Huh?
Courts are beginning to rule that it goes against common decency. We're not talking about 1 or 2 gestures, but a lot of crotch palming. In fact, One man was convicted in 2006 for ostentatiously touching his genitals through his clothing.
Oh
Keep
my.
your hands where we can see them. Number 17.
The Vatican will get
no
you.
high heels in Greece. High-heeled shoes have been banned at Greece's oldest monuments due to damage caused by tourists.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Leave them at home. Besides, don't you want to be comfy when you're walking over the old rocks?
Yeah.
Greeks also have an intolerance to mooning, the practice of baring your naked ass in public as well.
That's wild considering their history. But as for like the heels and stuff, like it would make sense too, because in Europe, traveling is just a lot of walking. Like everywhere is within walking distance, so why would you want to wear heels anyway? Especially when you know you're going to somewhere that's very old. Some places are like ruins. You know, the little heel can destroy the stones. Like, it's kind of common sense not to wear heels anyway. Like, it's not a fashion show. You're trying to go see what the Romans did, bitch.
And if you insist on this asinine behavior, you could end up with a hefty
showing
fine.
Your booty.
So, mooning on the Acropolis while wearing stilettos? You've got yourself a double whammy.
Sheesh.
Or at least a very interesting photo shoot.
Anything
Number
for clout.
16. Don't tip in Japan.
Huh?
This next one might be hard to get your head around, but you shouldn't tip in Japan.
Well, how much do they pay their waitresses? I don't know if it's just an American thing, but we are very adamant about tipping. I do delivery service, and if people don't tip, I don't do their delivery. So tipping is like an essential part of like American capitalism, our structure, our culture, just the way things that money is continued to be like recycled. You make money, you give money for services, it's back and forth. And on top of that, waitresses here get paid like $3 an hour. So the tip compensates for their lack of payment wage. So I'd hope that all these other places that don't tip, you're paying your waitresses and service people a livable wage then. You should always tip your waitress. You should always tip the guy who's cleaning your car, the bellhop, the guy who brings up your bags in hotels. Who else can you can tip people on cash registers. You know, just you're supposed to tip.
The service may be exceptional.
Your delivery driver.
Japanese people consider this standard to be typical, so offering a gratuity is not necessary. Okay, you won't necessarily offend someone's sensibilities if you tip.
It's free money.
Definitely avoid pointing. It's rude to point at someone in Japan, as this is a gesture that is usually directed towards objects rather than people. And while on the subject of Japan, although it's not illegal to engage in PDA on the streets, it is a faux pas to kiss amorously in public or hug for too long. So save those long goodbye kisses for the hotel room. Number 15. Watch your hand gestures in Turkey. Often, hand gestures are a great way of bridging the language barrier.
Yeah.
But just like all language, sometimes they can get mistranslated. In Turkey, you should not give the okay sign.
Okay.
To do so implies you think the other person is a homosexual.
What the? Okay, you're gay. What the? Homosexual. Who even equated that to mean? What the heck?
But you should also watch where you drink your liquor. It has been made illegal to drink or be drunk in public in the province of Burdur.
It's illegal here too.
Even sitting in a car with alcohol can get you a
illegal.
100 lira fine. If that wasn't enough, you should never use a toothpick without covering your mouth.
So extra, that one. But about the bottle being open in the car thing, that's not just going to get you a fine. That's going to take you to jail. You can't have an alcoholic beverage open in the car. Because, you know, I think we have a problem with DUIs? Oh yeah, driving under the influence over here. So you can't even have an open beverage of alcohol. As for this picking your toothpick and hiding it, like, it's not that serious. Be bashful, basically, is what they're saying.
And you should avoid blowing your nose in public.
If I need to blow my nose,
are considered very impolite. Try dabbing at it instead. Number 14. You can't buy chewing gum in Singapore.
What the? What if your breath
Despite
stinks?
what's claimed, it's not illegal to chew chewing gum in Singapore, even after a 1992 law passed, which was designed to counter the amount of chewing gum being
on the
dropped
floor.
in public places. The treat was not altogether outlawed. Instead, buying and selling it is illegal, and punishable with a fine of up to $1,000. The Control of Manufacture Act still allows tourists to bring 2 packs into the country.
What the
so
heck?
you'd better make it count. But if you're looking for another foodstuff to enjoy when in Singapore, you should know that you're also not allowed to take the pungent tropical fruit durian on public transport.
Okay. going back to the gum though, like I feel like out of all things that you could be policing, you're policing chewing gum just because people are getting it stuck on your shoes. Like, understandable. Just say you can't chew gum or bring gum in certain areas. Don't completely outlaw it. It's just gum.
Bringing the fruit, which tastes like heaven, smells like hell on a bus or train,
I've never had
carries a fine of up to $5,000. This pride in public spaces means you are also not allowed to feed pigeons. This avoids population growth and reduces the amount of poop to clean.
True.
2 men, a 62-year-old and a 68-year-old, were fined $400 and $1,500 respectively for breaking this law this year.
That's ridiculous.
Number 13, don't pee in the ocean in Portugal. Hot competition for the hardest law to enforce. It's not very polite to pee in a pool. But what about the ocean? Surely it's the definition of a victimless crime. But nonetheless, Portugal has recently outlawed it.
Come on. You got whale guts, whale carcasses. You know, the sharks are over here shitting in the water. The water is already not technically clean, so it's in the pool. I think it's kind of gross because I don't want to feel the water warming around me as you stand next to me, and then I know you did it. But like, it's the entire ocean. The rain's gonna, you know, evaporate it up, come down. It's just gonna be recycled and cleaned. So it's the ocean. I don't see the issue there, but it's Portugal, so let them make their rules.
That means any swimmers caught short will have to come out and find a bathroom. I don't
How would they
envy
even
the person
know?
who has to catch you doing this one. Number 12. Don't feed the pigeons in San Francisco.
A lot of pigeon
It may
talk.
seem fun to feed the pigeons, but doing so in San Francisco can get you in trouble. It's illegal. The law is aimed to curb their population, as well as the health hazard presented by their poop. The authorities even have a hotline specifically for tips about illicit crumb droppers. Speaking of tips, in America, in general, gratuities are everything. The average waiter makes between $5 to $12 an hour, and they need any extra money they can get.
From the tip.
So unlike Japan, this is one place you should definitely tip. You should also make sure to mind your P's and Q's, where politeness is the main order of the day. In certain states, they pride themselves on good manners as a way of life.
And friendliness.
Customs like Minnesota Nice, made famous by the film Fargo, are defined by polite friendliness, an aversion to confrontation, and a disinclination to make a fuss. So be nice, even if you don't mean it.
True.
And finally, cutting down a saguaro cactus in Arizona is a federal crime, even if it's on your property. Doing any damage to this majestic plant is punishable.
To be fair, that literally is what Arizona is known for, though, like their cactuses. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here because it's going to be pretty long. If y'all want me to finish it, I can do a part 2. Let me know what also you thought about all these rules. Do you agree with them? Obviously, we have to respect them because, you know, it's foreign rules. We can't really just, I don't like it, so I'm not going to obey it. No, you have to. But I think some of them were a bit extra. Anyways, like the video, subscribe if you're new here. Look forward to other content, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!